everyone, welcome back and a good morning to you from Kyushu. We're here in the Oita Prefecture, deep into the mountains, as we're getting ourselves ready for another race here in Autopolis. Welcome everyone, of course, to the Autopolis Grand Prix Split B race, where we will decide the last 10 CO Cup qualifiers. Of course, in this 2026 Formula Hololive Qualifiers season. And on the JP side, welcome. So let's take a look onto what the track looks like. Of course, and we have this like track pretty much deep into the mountains. We're supposed to host Formula 1, but that didn't work out, so it now hosts Formula Hololive multiple years later. But anyways, you gotta watch out though for turn 1 and both hairpins, as the attacks as the place to overtake and to get your moves done to move yourself up a position on this 4.6 kilometer racetrack. As usual, just like yesterday, 66 laps in this 305 kilometer long race. We have seen 127s. I believe they mid 127. I think. So yeah, we think it's 127. So might expect to see more or less the same thing for this race as well. And so just we have actually highlighted a few things as well. We have also decided already the split A grid. Daniel Bogger, Gibbons, and Tararao, Cashew, Wizard, Lavadores, Ake, Lexi Bowen, also Ali J and Riliu have made their way onto the CO Cup, with the bottom 9 drivers essentially having to compete in the Zacco. One of the few shock names that didn't make it is of course Lorenzo Ricci, who have been one of the better drivers in aero competitions in recent times. After his late race flip at the hairpin at turn 11, which essentially means that he can, it's a shock DNQ for the CO Cup, but again, we have to do what we have to do. But anyways, another driver who will be safe heading into the Split B qualifiers race will be Aqua Azeri, who of course have guaranteed herself a spot in the CO Cup by virtue of her 2 previous results. She could have a similar race as Daniel Barger yesterday, and still not only make the CO Cup but also top the standings. I mean, just look at her gap though, 143 points above Hofumi in second place. And there you go, Hoshizano Rio, who did win. So to give a bit of a correction, Hoshizano Rio did win. Yeah, sorry, he did win in Fuji Speedway. Actually a good win. So yeah, 3rd and 4th, 4th and 5th. Rudy Hanami, Kiriko, Ari Nakamura, Yukihara Toka, Russell Crosio looking to defend their CO Cup credentials. Jason Sai, Joey, Moshiki Reza among those who will be hungry to take their spot. And we also got a few drivers who have to get the score points. Again, that kind of said they have that work hard out if they want to qualify for the CO Cup later this August. Alright. So, with that out of the way, let's move on into qualifying. So, clear skies here in Autopolis. My name is Omar Reza in the commentary booth, as we are going to get ourselves ready for the start of this qualifying session. Reba is, of course, one of our first drivers out. Currently sitting in 16th in the qualifier standings. So we got a point to prove in that number 43 machine. Looking into Rebraz's records in aero comps, he's actually done a pretty solid job actually. 3 wins, 2 in Formula Hololive, 1 in 2020. Both in the 2024 season, he won in both at Fuji and Suzuka. Both feats not exactly an easy one. Well, we'll see if I can bring Shishiro Botan back up on top. Speaking of other drivers here, we also have the likes of Vlasa Demashnev, who currently does have a good campaign. Already racking up 7 wins for Aki Rosa. Being the only driver who has won for Aki Rosa, and being one of the record win holders in Formula Hololive. Well, I guess we are looking at someone who also has one of the best pedigrees in ARL competitions. Ozora Subaru, who have won a multitude of races, the most out of anyone so far, actually. Spread between 4 drivers. Of course, for Subaru's first 3 wins, it's spread between Gibbons, Heinz, and Rim Allgor, all in the 2022 Hololive. Oihara Isaiah and Heinz in 2022 Hololive 23 season. And then Rim Allgor won the next 5, with the 4 of them being in Hololive DD3 and 1 in Formula Hololive. And then we got Aqua Zuri, who has only been able to win in Formula Hololive. Holoproto has still eludes her so far. Well, of course, Azuri has come here to win, so she is gonna see how far she can go up into this race. So we're looking into a lap here in Autopolis. Make yourself known in turns 18 and 19. Get a good exit to make yourself give yourself a very much a boost in this main straight. Start your lap. 100-meter mark to start off the hot lap here as well. Avoid the curve into turn 1 to avoid auto spinning your car, and then hit the 100-meter mark and to break yourself into turn 3. See what I mean about the curves being auto spin? If you hit the curves, then you're gonna have a huge chance spinning your car due to the insane elevation change. And then into the first hairpin there, taking it easy before that, and then flat out just about until you reach turn 8 and 9. You have to lift and then full gas once again into turn 10, and then 100-meter mark into turn 11 again. Avoid the curves on this hairpin section, lest you'll have your car get flipped. Good exit onto the roller coaster, straight onto the roller coaster corner. 75-meter mark this time. Again, hook at the car nicely. Avoid the curbs. And in the third sector, you can hang around in maybe 4th gear as well. You can hang around in 5th. Double apex the right-hander. Take it easy on the curves as well. Under the pressure into turn 17. And hook your car up nicely. Wide approach to turn 18 to carry as much speed as possible. So you might want to sacrifice speed in 18 to have a lot of speed in the 19. And that is your lap here in Autopolis. 129.947. Okay, could do more drivers. We're looking to complete that last pass. It has already done a 130.096. We're in a 129.539. Drops down into 7th. Rio in 4th. Now back into the pits there. Jacob will looking to complete his lap. Doesn't look like it's a competitive time. Saki Sakura, meanwhile, has topped the standings with 127.334. Jake Goodwin is going to lose a lot of time, and therefore will probably not be able to challenge the top, as he not only is good enough for 7th place. Here's your Toka in the aptly done Lamy helmet, who's currently qualified in 3rd. Looking at one more driver who has yet to set a time. Yeah, we do have one driver who hasn't been able to set a time. Nairo Nakamura, who is going to sit there in the pits for a while as we're going to confirm the qualifying session here. Well, it looks like Misaki Sakura will take pole position. Congratulations to her. As we're going to be waiting for the remaining cars to enter the pits. So yeah, looks like it will be a pole position start for Misaki Sakura, representing Karachi, is sitting alongside in second. We will be confirming to you on what it looks like. All right. Just to give you all a bit of a look onto what the standings, or at least the running order for for the starting lineup here is. So, Misaki Sakura is your pole sitter for today's Autopolis Grand Prix at Split B race, with Rustin Karasho lining up alongside in second place for Laplace. Yukara Toka, the Evergreen Yuki Min will start in third, with Chase Kinsai in fourth for Takani Lui. SSRB driver Kamina Reba will start fifth, with Hoshino Rio lining up in sixth for Negiri Ayami. Jake Goodwin in seventh place for Okamimio, with Mama Shaki Frieza lining up alongside in Rule 4. Hanumi Kiriko starts ninth for Himamori Luna, with Daniel Guyana representing Usada Pecora in 10th. Here's the highest place of the old chassis, the device class car, represented by Rudy in 11th place. Who represents Miyasu. Rajakinski, meanwhile, starts 12th. For Mizuki Choco, Akozuri, the championship leader, will start 13th for Ozora Subaru. Dak Patterson, 14th for Zakariona. We've seen what happened with the previous device class runners who have been running consistently last time out. Will we see the same? Fumi starts 15th for Tokino Sora, with Lasa Damasha 16th for Aki Rosa. Sobyang-eun will start 17th for Kokani Nico, with Seirin 18th for Otodose Kanade, Joy 19th for Jufu Teiraden, and Iron Nakamura, of course, will start last for Akai Hato. Imperial Whole Soil, it is for Aqua Azuri. If you want to take a look at her stats later, we'll explain on to why it is the case. But for now, we do have the race start upon us. We have 20 cars this time lining up to get the start ready. We can't wait to see how it goes for everyone. Of course, we got Misaki Sakura and Rustin Karasho on the front row. Sakura on the pole position side. And so we are gonna get this race underway here. Sakura right on in front. Rustin Karasho ready to challenge as we're about to get this Split B race underway. And this time everyone has managed to get off on a clean start here. Into turn 1. Here comes a potential 3-wide move by Kinsai. But it's going to be Sakura who still leads. It's a bit of a pandemonium at the back. Further back as well. But everyone has managed to survive cleanly into the first few turns. Sakura now leads as Toka now takes second place from Rustin Karashio. Kinsai in fourth. Rio now tries to go for a sweeping move around the outside at turn 5 against Grippa in 6th place. Shaka also trying to deny Goodwin's advances in 7th place, and Guyana holds on to 9th. Kosinski rounds out the top 10. Obviously, great stuff here in Split B. Guyana into Usada Pecora, number 11. Oh, gets a bit overzealous on the curbs there at the second hairpin. But still manages to survive this 20-lap race. And Guyana still is trying to go around at it against Jake Goodwin on the Okamimio number 30. Still going side by side. Oh, over the curbs there goes Guyana, but still, those cars are still pointed in the right direction there. No spinning out so far. Goodwin, meanwhile, manages to defend. Extreme first lap there from Yukihara Toka, who now goes up into second place and ready to challenge and pounce onto Misaki Sakura. Inside, hooks around the outside on Riba to take 4th place. Great move there from the Louis number 61 car. Meanwhile, further back, we are seeing Hinako trying to defend, or to take that 10th place away, or to defend that 11th place from Hofumi, who's ready to take it away. More battles further back. Nakamura doing a good job there from the back of the grid. Now currently running in 15th place. We're just looking into this one for a bit of context. Nakamura starting at the back. Might just be a blizzard. We have a car who's literally on its side. We have our first casualty of this race. Jake Goodwin hits the curbs at the second hairpin, and we'll check out what happened to Goodwin. Our first retirement coming in from this guy right here. Here's Momotaka Reza for good measure. And on his side as well. We'll see the onboard say this is what we meant about not taking too much curve at the second hairpin, because this is what's gonna happen to you. We're now seeing Jake Goodwin on his side, and our first retirement of today's Split B Autopolis Grand Prix. And Jake Goodwin, mind you, is currently sitting on 4th place. And the gap between 4th and 11th, if you have noticed here, isn't really a lot. It's still under 100 points. Yukihara Toka, meanwhile, set the fastest lap and now goes down the inside onto Sakura here to take the lead of this race. But of course, Sakura is still hanging around the outside, not trying to give this one up just yet. And maintain the lead, Sakura does. That's exactly what happened. Oh, and Akozuri! Akozuri has spun out somewhere at around turn 3. Not usually the place where you want to be making contact with. And Seirin also is out, it seems, as well. What is going on here? Already on 3 laps. Seirin's case is very simple. It's her car with an engine failure. But what happened to Seirin here? It's a very rare error from the driver who has won in Autopolis before. Oh, tried to go for an early move against Nakamura, but misjudged it and has gone essentially into a pirouette. And Nakamura's already ahead here, but she misjudged Nakamura's position. Hits the left rear and got herself into a spin. So anyways, we do have our first 3 laps already done here. Toka still hungry for that lead. But coming in, Riba is of course the fastest car on the track here, 128.417. And it looks to me that Toka is running pretty light, which is why Sakura, meanwhile, is running pretty heavy. So we're expecting Sakura to at least make, at most make 2 pit stops here. Hanami Giriko is also very much heavily loaded as well, which should allow her to go for 1 pit stop. And looking into the AP cars, or the device cars who have, I believe, a larger fuel tank than the current generation ones with the main JP class. Oh, here comes Crashio there for second place here. Toka is going to lose it all. Well, if when all means second place here. So here's Crashio now into second place. Now it is his turn to challenge the lead. Meanwhile, we are seeing Kamine Riba there, absolutely swamping there Toka. Toka is losing a lot of time here and a lot of pace. Meanwhile, Kamine Riba is going to sweep around the outside. Oh, nearly contact and almost a high-speed collision between the two. Riba's now up into third place. Toka's not enjoying this one. She's losing a lot of time. 132.288, a full 4 seconds slower than Sakura, Crashio, and Riba on the last lap, and 3 seconds slower than Toka on the previous lap. Nakamura continues her crazy level ascent here. Now up into 12th place. Nakamura currently still firmly in the CO Cup spots. Well, not that firmly, but she's still pretty much in the same position here. You can tell what not a great look for Azuri, but she is going to have to proceed as usual here. It's not running in AT, but remember, more time are expected in this race. I mean, over half the field have retired from yesterday's Split A race. Today might be different, but people are expecting more or less the same thing. Kamine Riba is also going up against Crashio there. And Riba, I would like to also remind you that it is also pretty light on field. Sakura, who is not really light on field, is absolutely ripping through here in Formula Hololive right now. And, well, we'll see how it goes for her in this race. But yeah, nice to see a good amount of views in this stream for once. Loving all your support. We will appreciate all forms of support in this stream. Views, likes, subscriptions. If you can contribute to all of that, then we'll be so happy. Gives us a reason to continue and to provide a racing scene for all of you. Anyways, Kaczynski now up into 8th place against Danilo Goyana. Essentially mellowed. We'll be seeing the first of the pit lane activities right now. Toka expected to make a pit stop soon, and we're expecting Toka to make 6 pit stops or something, maybe 5, maybe 7. We're not doing the joke. We're just not gonna do the joke. And as expected. Well, hopefully we against Hanami Kiriko. This is for 9th place. Toka exited 14th, and as expected, she's going to be pretty light so far. Going side by side though, just want to let you all enjoy the scenery. And Kiriko, no! It is a massive flip for her. who is already in a precarious position in this qualifiers right now, and we have actually saw that flip as it happened live. Another retirement in today's split B race has now claimed Hanami Kiriko, who it was running at the top of the standings. That third place in Yeongnam might not be enough to say her spot in the CEO Cup. We will have to wait and see how it goes. Well, Saren for sure will only be good enough for the CEO for the Zako Cup. Riva, as mentioned earlier, will also make a quick pit stop as Kaczynski now goes side by side with Shaka Reza. Side by side there goes Shaka Reza on to Kaczynski. Oh, and Kaczynski just about keeps himself up in front. Now has his own gen mate up in front of him. Here, so also on their own battles here. Jack Patterson's now in 12th, still not where he needs to be. But if you look at the vice class runners, they're all pretty much feel pretty heavily. So Patterson is gonna go play the late game here. So he's gonna try to see if he can bring himself into late race and overcut the rest of the field. Guess who does the exact same thing? Nice Nature. You know Mamusame and horse racing? There's your Mamusame reference for today. Zuri still hanging around from the back of the grid, as we're seeing more drivers currently in their pit boxes here. Oh, and that is Hoshino Rio actually going off wide there, or rather Kaczynski actually going down the inside. This time Kaczynski is on the charge here. Right, gonna take a short break here to get some hydration checks and also to rest the mind. Hope you're still enjoying the Autopolis Grand Prix Split B race. Don't go anywhere and enjoy the current racing up at hand. Alright, back at Autopolis in the Split B race. Looks like Toka's making moves once again, but she's gonna be making 5 more big stops. But anyways, let's enjoy the moves while we still can. Here's Toka now down the inside of her fellow Gen mate Rippa, who I believe is on the same strategy as well. So they're still gonna go at it between each other. Of course, Toka currently in the penultimate CO Cup spot. Rippa, meanwhile, pretty much down in it. Is set to be condemned into the Zako next season. Just gonna see how it goes here. Oh, and that is actually Yukiara Toka. I just realized that she is actually flipped there. You saw how it unfolded right in front of your eyes once again. This is what it means. And unfortunately, this means that Toka's chances of qualifying for the CO Cup is also now up in the air. Remember, slow and steady wins this race, and well, let's just add another 0 onto the sheets here. Yukiara Toka will end this qualifiers campaign with 130 points accrued. Not exactly. Ibuprofen. Well, not really. And right now we are going to be seeing more moves there. Damashnev piling on the pressure onto Sobia. Dak Patterson currently is running 8th. He has an ace up his sleeve, and as long as he keeps his car pointed in the right direction for the remainder of this race, should be in for a surprise qualification for the CO Cup, because remember, he will need a minimum of 4th place, and if he does get into 4th, then he would have actually been able to have a shock qualification to the CO Cup. Misaki Sakura. Oh, and that's Roger Kaczynski! That's another car! Flipped! That's another contender out. You remember when we said about those Carz being super lethal? Here's what happened there to Toka there as she was closing in on to Rudy. Again, hits Rudy as well. Oh. Also landing on her side as well. What a violent flip that was. Well, here's what happened to Kaczynski. Damage suspension, damage parts. That is going to also be him out. But it looks to me that Kaczynski will be the last of those who will be scoring 0 points. And Kaczynski is also pretty much also going to end this season with 0 points accrued. 0 points accrued in the qualifiers campaign. Not even Mikolev could achieve that. Well, you know who else is currently at 0 points? Dak Patterson. But right now, with multiple drivers faltering, and amongst those who will be making only 1 pit stop, there's only Rudy Nakamura, which on a real. Meanwhile, will be making pit stop later. Kinsai, yeah. So Patterson is going to be pitting the last. Going to be making his first pit stop, the last out of all of the runners here. So there's still pretty much some glimmer of hope for Patterson to get into the CEO. Nakamura currently in 5th place though, absolutely charging onto Rio. Remember that Rudy is the highest placed device class car. The top 5 is currently chiefly occupied by the JP class cars, and if they are going to go side by side, they need to be careful at the hairpin, the second hairpin that is, otherwise they will be having a flip. So go for a pole. I really cannot tell though. I just realized though, the top 2 currently because guess who currently runs in first and second? It's Russian Crossio currently running in second, representing Laplace. And second Sakura representing ASCII. And guess who whispers Zako on the left side of someone's ear? But anyways, let's not talk about that for too long. As we see Nakamura now going down the inside on Rio here. As Nakamura goes into 4, but Rio is actually going to fight back into turn 4, 5, and 6. Nakamura still has her work cut out, but just got the pole in, and we'll see if we'll have anyone not coming across here. Sakura, I just wanted to point out, during all of that time in Formula Hololive, the only win for ASCII was in 2023 in Suzuka, which turns out to be one of four wins for Crystal Salman, who previously represented ASCII. Exiting turn 19, Nakamura's gonna try have a stab at it again. And down the inside, of course, goes Nakamura. Camera Ripper goes to pit once again. Oh, and that is gonna upset Rio. But we'll see if he will be able to go for a late braking here. And again, great defensive maneuver there from Rio. Nakamura's gonna go at it once again. They're still gonna try to go side by side into turn 7, 8, 9, and 10. Still nothing but Rio or Nakamura is getting very close here. This is what has taken multiple casualties here, and Nakamura survives for now. It's going to be Rio who hangs on to 4th place for now. So we are seeing the first few votes coming in. Sakura definitely being tipped as the favorites to win this one, but we'll see how far she can go. Just gonna see if I can adjust the layout here. Adak-RMS has actually gone down ahead of Guyana, as also expected. Nakamura still in 5th, still charging forward per usual. But meanwhile, currently in 6th place. Azuri in 12th, Guyana 14th, Fumi in 15th. Alright, so 17 laps complete here in Autopolis, and it's still Misaki Sakura currently in control of the situation here in Autopolis. Just gonna see if we can get comfortable. Just a bit of a test if all of you can still hear me, because I have the mic right on my hand. Crusher still hanging on in 2nd place, just doing what he needs to do. Oh, we got moves there. That is Reba and Domashnev going side by side. Domashnev not on the same pit strategy as Reba, but Reba is still gonna be able to be the clear favorites to make moves there. But the big question is, how many more pit stops will he make? All right. So we're just gonna oh, and you can see here he's absolutely got that blistering pace. I mean, this is what happens when you have fresh tires and low amount of fuel. Oh, that is a bit iffy there from Kaminari Reba. Anyways, looks like Kinsai is now still in 3rd, looking very nicely to make his way into the CO Cup from where he is right now. Patterson, meanwhile, is in 7th, still 3 positions away from his chance to shock everyone and make the CO Cup. But of course, there's still a long way to go in this race. We're only at 19 laps complete. Not even 1/3 of this entire race so far. Kaminari Reba is absolutely blistering through the rest of the field here. Oh, and it's Reba, and it's a big flip from Kaminari Reba as we say that. Oh no! Another retirement from our driver who has been blisteringly quick, and he will be guaranteed at least a single point. It's a massive shame. A massive shame from one of the more entertaining drivers in today's race. Making moves left, right, center. But one wrong move at the hairpin, and that's your race done for. And Coach Reba joins the list of drivers who have fumbled it at the hairpin. Speaking of which, Sakura now leading over Karashio by 11/10 of a second. This does mean one thing though. Azuri have now climbed herself up into 11th place, while others are crashing out. Azuri is still hanging on. The gap between Sakura and Karashio is quite the margin here. And you can see here the top 4 have already been separated by just about 33 seconds or so, or not 35 seconds. Rio has just crossed the start-finish line. We're seeing more side-by-side action here. Damashev and So Byung-eun. Already Damashev and Damashev and So Byung-eun on their battle here. Patterson is only just ahead and actually just wants none of this because he just wants to focus on his own race. Currently running in 7th. Tense nerves here in the Autopolis circuit. Sakura have now opened up the gap to Kurashio to 14 seconds. Kensai, meanwhile, is absolutely bolting in. Looks like, yep, Kurashio has lost a decent amount of time. Kensai, meanwhile, will respond with a 1:29.030. Oh, there's a good amount of optimism in the Ozora Subaru camp as Azuri is going to keep on chugging, as she said. So, still pretty much a case of how far these drivers are willing to go. Some activities won't happen until the next few laps. We're seeing more moves there. Shaka Reza just made the pass on to Azuri. Azuri now drops down to 12th. Azuri currently on an okay-ish recovery drive, now up into 12th. Sakura has now set the fastest lap of the race, 1:27.847. Currently a cut above the rest. But again, lap cars might play into the hands of the leaders, as we're seeing more potential side-by-side action here. There's Guyana and Azuri. Azuri now losing touch, now losing ground here, it seems, as we're now seeing Guyana now going into the inside of Azuri here. And around the outside goes Azuri as she tries to hook herself up once again. On the right side of history of sorts. Maybe, as they're still going to go side by side at turns 8 and 9. Azuri's on that dangerous position here. Might she make another mistake? And the answer is gonna be nope. Azuri will just hang on for now, as he is gonna try to hook her up around the outside at the roller coaster corner. Azuri trying to stay alongside for as long as she can, but well, nothing has been forthcoming for her. Sakura now has the fastest lap of this race, 1:20 again, 1:27 point, I believe 7. Feels like none of these drivers have an apt response to Sakura's gains in today's race. And Sakura's win, I'm just gonna get myself back in position. We'll actually almost guarantee a spot in the CEO Cup. But we're just gonna check onto this one. Yep, Sakura, who is currently down at the bottom. A win here would guarantee her qualification. Right. So we're just gonna update the points tally in our sheets just to get a bit of a reference check. Riba will only score a single point and will also be guaranteed a spot in the Zako. Jiskinsai has now gone on into the pit box here. So Kinsai is expected to fill up the car, looking into the fuel loads here that Kinsai will be carrying. More drivers about to come in. Kurashio, Sakura, and Chakafreza will be coming in soon. So what's that? Yep, so it looks like pending stuff here. Looks like Patterson will be moving up a few more positions here, as now we're seeing him battle out with Damashnev here. Damashnev now goes down the inside into turn 3 and now into turn 4. That Patterson now up into 6th place and still on the charge here, and we're now seeing Patterson. So we are just gonna monitor so Kinsai is now in the pits. Kurashio Nakamura still, well, Sakura has actually already been called into the pits and now she is currently 3rd. But Kurashio has actually beaten Sakura in the pits, so already it is a interesting development here. Looks like Kurashio and Sakura will look to not have enough fuel, so they will be making one more pit stop here. Damasha has already overtaken Patterson. Stropia will probably be next. Outside goes Patterson to try to defend, but he just couldn't get it done. Patterson now drops down to 8th, but he is still pretty much in it. Jace Kinsai, it looks to me that he's already retired from this race. So it's another case of a car flipping into the... Ooh, yep. Another case of a car flipping at the hairpin. And look at that rear wing already onto the curves and almost at the racing line. right now we are going to be seeing Harrison and Missouri far, so let's see. But anyways, looks to me that Nakamura and Sakura and Kurashio will be expected to make pit stops. Hanami Kiriko is already out of this race, as we've established earlier. So I'm just gonna update. Kit size is tallying right now. He's currently at 4 points. Looks to me that he will also not make the CO Cup. 4 points we erase from each driver. The interesting will be and it looks to me that the race has now become more open. It seems Nakamura, of course, still needing to make her own pit stop as well. But this pit stop will mean that she'll only make the one pit stop, and that will be it for the remainder of the race. Rudy, it will be a similar case here. Rio as well. But he will be joining with Kurashio and Nakamura, Kurashio and Sakura on this case. Domashnev will be pitting a bit later. So Byung-un and Dak Patterson as well. But Dak Patterson, of course, will be pitting the latest out of everyone. So this is just him trying to work, to see through the first stint. Laps complete still. Okay, so what's gonna happen, especially in terms of pit stops? Oh, looks like Sobyung is ready to challenge Vlaza Domashnev. And Rudy now goes in for his pit stop here. We'll see how far ahead he's able to fuel his car. Looks to me that he will be going for a very heavy car at this stage of the race. Sure will be at a good advantage for them. Oh, Nakamura has actually gone off, and it's a spin at the, and it's a rollover at the second hairpin. More drivers just bottling in at the worst possible chance. This time it's Irene Nakamura. Here's what happened to her. Ari Nakamura currently in the CO Cup spot. Might just have thrown it away. Collects Joey as a result. Actually, like where Joey manages to keep going there. And of course, as a result, he has been under pressure from Daniel Goyena as well. So Nakamura already out of this race, and this is gonna move more drivers up in front. Right now, it's still pretty much up in the air as to how this race will go. Pat Patterson's still in 7th place. But if he manages to beat Rudy Demashek and Subyok, he will be in 4th and will be in a position to make the CO Cup. This is something to pay attention to. So Nakamura will be guaranteed 8 points at the very least for running up into 13th. Right now, Aquazuri have now gone on into the pits here. It's a pretty long stint for her. Must mean that she will be filled until the end, and all pit stops from this point on. If you pit right now, you will be good until the end of this race. And right now, Carson Carrasco currently in a good position here. Looks like he has won Formula Hololive races before. This will only be his 2nd points-paying Formula Hololive race. He already won last year's Fuji race in Split A. He's already had pedigree in Hololive GT3 with 2 wins to his name. But the race for 4th is still pretty much realistic there. Patterson just needs a good pit stop and a very good 2nd stint if he is going to make his force his way into the CO Cup. Alright, as we're about to come on to the 2nd half of this race, we are going to take a short break. We'll be returning on lap 34. But until then, enjoy the racing action and the sounds of the cars. So anyways, we are going to be seeing also Daniel Goyena make his way into pit stops here. So anyways, take care everyone, and we'll see you on lap 30, actually no, lap 35. Okay, we have an update here. We're just returning early. Shaki Brista has now pitted. And it'll be a long pit stop here, so you don't need to worry too much about that. Crusho now leads Sakura by 8 seconds, but still need to make one more pit stop. This will put pushes on a Rio and basically everyone else in the hunt for the win. All I can say is that we'll see how it goes. So Goyena now in the pits here once again. Oh no, he's retired. He's retired from the race. Looks like. So here's what happened to Goyena here. Same old, same old. Oh, I think that's the highest anyone has gone. And if it weren't for the invisible wall, he would have actually vaulted over to the tire barriers. Crazy stuff. Anyways, that doesn't change the fact that Crusho still leads. Yes, he still leads here in Autopolis ever since Crusho made his first pit stop. As Sakura. Fumi now up into 11th place. If Fumi retires, that means that's half of the field gone. You can see here, Crusho Sakura's gaps to Rio are already at 42 seconds, but that doesn't change the fact that there's still lap cars. So and the Mustang have actually traded places there, and actually Patterson have actually gone up into 5th place. Now, as it stands, he will, as it stands right now, Dak Patterson, if he does go into 5th, he will draw with Rustin Carrascio. But Rustin Carrascio is currently in the lead right now, so that probably doesn't matter regardless. So we're just gonna, and this result will also put Sakura in the CO spots here. And it looks to me that Patterson, as it stands, will still not make the CO as it stands. The Mustang will still not be able to do enough to get himself into the CO. So Byung-eun, meanwhile, will secure himself a spot. Joey will barely be in there, but because Joey is still in 8th, this will still deny Patterson's spot. This is what I mean about Patterson needing 4th or better to even have a shot of qualifying for the CO. But then again, this requires results to go your way. Shaka Reza will also most likely not make the CEO. Neither does Danilo Goyana. Well, that's because Goyana is already retired. Akozuri currently in 10th, Hofumi in 11th. Kurashio Sakura, Rio, Rudy, Patterson, Damashan Sobion, and Joey Shaka Reza, Azuri, Fumi, Koreana Nakamura, Kinsai, and Reba. The current cutoff is currently at Irene Nakamura at 142 points. So Shaka Freza's gone off. Shaka Freza has a rollover. Shaka Freza has a rollover. And actually has again impacted Joey, and we now will officially now make it half the field already having retirement in today's race. This will put Azuri in 9th and Hofumi in 10th. Once again, the cutoff line has remained unchanged. Nakamura still at 142. As we mentioned earlier, Patterson needs 3rd place or better to make him put himself into the CEO Cup. Patterson currently running in 5th. He still needs to beat Rudy and Rio to put himself into the CEO Cup. He's now 50 seconds behind Sakura and Crusher, but remember, Crusher and Sakura need to make one more pit stop. Yoshizuna Rio is still also needs to make one more pit stop. Same goes with Rudy does not need to make one more pit stop. Dak Patterson also needs to make one more pit stop as well. Joey is going to be making his pit stop soon. Put him down to 9th place as a result. Agozuri doing a pretty decent combat to go up into P8 as a result of the planned pit stop from Joey. expect that Joey will be having a bit of a service here in the pits here. Alright, so Dak Patterson is gonna give room there for Caraccio as he now goes down the lap. Also, Sakura does contact! Oh, the difference in pace there between the two, and that's gonna... Well, I just realized that it was supposed to be a 1 second gap, but it's now dropped down to 1.7 seconds there. Sakura is gonna try to close in onto Caraccio. Right now, the idea is that Patterson is actually providing us with a bit of a interesting dilemma there. Caraccio is already ahead, right, but here comes Dak Patterson, and if he can still hang on, Sakura might be desperate for a move there. Sakura, who started on pole position, might get desperate. Oh, and sends Dak Patterson off wide. Battle between two purplish cars of two different generations here. Dak Patterson is still gonna cause some trouble there onto Sakura. Sakura is almost just about losing her patience here. Oh, it tries to force a move regardless on this part of the track. Where is this coming from Sakura? And she forces her move. What is going on here? Again, if more drivers crash out, then it's going to be massive for the drivers at the back, especially for Dak Patterson, who has failed to score points in much of the season so far, but currently running in 5th place. He still is not going to make the CO Cup at this rate. And now the gap closed back down once again. Joey is the next lap car onto this half grid. Gets pulled back down to 2.8 seconds. You know which now you know which one is currently the fastest one on the racetrack right now, and the answer is Misaki Sakura. Now closing back down onto Caraccio once again. Separating between Caraccio and Sakura. If these two probably get together and there's going to be a massive crash, then it's going to be a massive pandemonium that's going to ensue as we're now coming into the final third of this race. 2 seconds. Horatio does not have the pace right now, but might be able to alleviate this through the pit stops here. This is the last pit stops. Or anything to go by. So the second last between these two. This either will be a barn burner or well, I don't know what I'm gonna say after this, but still a very solid competition right now between Horatio and Sakura. Less than 1 second separating between them. We expect an overtake to be done in half a lap or so. Almost a second faster than Sakura on that previous lap, and this time this is where the closing in ends, because now Sakura's right at the tail end of Horatio. Horatio is already starting to think about defensive maneuvers here. Sakura already warming up. And now we are just going to see how Sakura approaches this corner. Pretty much off camber. These two showing it they're cut above the rest, but again, Horatio, Sakura, and Rio need to make pit stops. Looks to me that in the midst of things, Patterson's is still ebbing and flowing between Damasia and Sobia and but at the same time, it looks to me that Patterson has already made his pit stop. And that is the crucial part. Damasia also has crucially done his pit stop. So Byung-eun have also done his pit stop as well. And here comes Misaki Sakura lining up a move onto Russell Horatio. This is for the lead of the Autopolis Grand Prix Split B race. And hooks it around the outside. No issues there for the new race leader. Misaki Sakura, who had started from pole position, is now back into the race lead. But now Misaki Sakura has another issue here, and this will allow. Oh! And that's Misaki Sakura! Oh my god, what a save that was from Misaki Sakura! Desperate calls for desperate measures. And Misaki Sakura has absolutely pulled out all the stops there to make sure she stays in the lead for as long as she can. Doing everything in her power to stay in the lead and to probably give Aski her first Formula Hololive win since 2023 in October. What a move that was from Sakura. We thought she was going to spin the car out, but she's got that car control. And not overwhelming favorites to win today have now absolutely showing her mettle in this race here today. And now Misaki Sakura is ready to pull away from the rest of the pack. Where is the other lap car? Here's Rudy in 4th place. Who is still on the lead lap. Saki Sakura still needs to pit. Hoshizono Ryo needs to pit still. Rasen Karashio also needs to pit. Might still open the door for Rudy, Damashkin, Southern, and Patterson to get close. So we're just gonna give a bit of an update here. It's now Saki Sakura and then Rusting Horacio. Hoshizono Ryo hangs around in third, Rudy fourth. It's now the Mostev in fifth. Sobyung in sixth, Patterson in seventh place. 38th, Joey ninth. Hopefully rounds out the top 10. Still 142 points to cutoff line. And for the drivers who are currently doing very good outside of the cutoff line, Vlasic Mostev is doing pretty okay. And for him, it looks to me that he also needs third place or better to force his way into the CO Cup. He has overtaken Joey by comeback. And this time Sakura now has to deal with Rudy. I wonder if the timing is absolutely right for her, because Rudy's going to give her a bit of a hard time. She makes the move at the wrong place. Well, Rudy is now coming in still pretty good here. And around the outside though goes Sakura. No issues for her. 4.5 seconds separate between these two. .2 seconds now. We'll check back how long they will be making their pit stops, and if lap cars are going to play an integral part in this race. Among the bottom drivers who have forced their way into the CEO Cup, Saki Sakura, who is at 14 points heading into today's race at Autopolis. This win essentially will be a clutch move. As for Rasen Karashio, who was in the final cutoff spot, we'll put him in clear safety. Not a lot of surprises right now. As top performers are still doing what they need to do, and if they aren't doing it today, they at least done it 2 races ago, or the race after that. We're about to start lap 51. 50 laps complete at Autopolis. It's been a very long race. As you can tell, 1 hour and 40 minutes is the length. guaranteed a top 10 finish if she does retire right now. Of course, she is not going to count on that. Rio's getting pretty lightweight right now, and this will most likely put him down into P4. One lap's done. Now on lap 52. We're just feeling pretty lightweight right now, but he's currently dealing with traffic here. That's Hofumi currently down in 10th place. Fumi made 5 pit stops. Sugar has made 5. Korean has made 5. First driver 2 laps down. Alright, so we're gonna take one final break. Oh, that's Misaki Sakura! Misaki Sakura has bottled it! Misaki Sakura has bottled it from the lead! She was on side by side with Aqua Azuri, and now Sakura is out of this race! Absolute throw! What an absolute bottle! That was supposed to be Misaki Sakura in the CEO Cup! Russell Garcia now has the lead of the Autopolis Grand Prix race. Here is Split B. What was supposed to be qualification for her is now turned into heartbreak. Vlasa Damashnev will throw himself into the CEO Cup as a result. Hoshizuna Rio has made his pit stop. Rudy will now go up into second place as Rio now makes his pit stop. Crosswell will be making his pit stop soon. Sakura. I'm stunned. You're stunned. We're all stunned. I really cannot find any more words to describe this absolute travesty of an incident there. What was supposed to be a nail-on qualification for the CEO has now turned itself into a nightmare scenario for Sakura. Aquazuri will now move into 7th place. As a result, Dak Patterson is now this means that Caraccio is now 1 lap ahead of the rest of the field, but remember, Carz still needs to make 1 more pit stop. And who knows, the scenario might change once again. There is gonna be a predicted scenery if Carz also do crash out. This will also put Joey in qualification for the CO Cup as well, at the cost of Irene Nakamura. As of right now, Aqua Azzurri will still make the CO Cup. Carz will look to get his first Formula Hololive win since last year in the Colorized Harmony Grand Prix at Fuji. Carz is still not called in for his service just yet. Right now we are just gonna check here. Carz is about to be called into the pits as the last of the drivers who will be making their pit stops. Right now we're just gonna see now peels his way into his box. So this will also mean that Rudy will get his lap back. Rio will also most likely get his lap back. Anything can still happen here in Autopolis. We are already down to 9 runners after a recent incident which took Misaki Sakura out of this race. But Carz actually has a very quick pit stop and has actually maintained a spot in the race lead. But then again, he was already 1 lap ahead of Rudy by then. So it's pretty much nip and tuck for him. The 2-stop strategy still doing him pretty good wonders here. He has been given the permission to attack in the final stint here. Again, he has to make this move in the right places. Otherwise, he will be the victim of a rollover. And Carz is chasing Rio like a rabid dog. Guess who's Azako now? Coming into the main straight here, Carz is ready to make the move on to Rio. Straight line speed, absolutely king there for Carz. Into the final 10 laps. Carz has no problems with Rio as he now brings him a lap down. Now Crusher is 11 seconds. Rio is 11 seconds behind Rudy. With the progress charts here, Crusher did start on the front row and has. You gotta give credit though to Damasha and Sophia Gun, who started at 16th and 17th respectively, and who have now gone up in 12 places. Where they are right now, 4th and 5th. One driver remains on the lead lap, and that's Rudy right now. Just keep opening up here. That just shows you how good Crusher is right now. If he can pass Rudy correctly. Now Nakamura is hinging on Crusher winning this race, and if he does so, Nakamura will be among the last of the drivers who will make the CEO. She's already in the cutoff zone. Same goes for Damasha, but Damasha is already having a lonely race right now. He just needs to bring this car home to the finish line. Crusher does crash out and ends up finishing with 9th place. Laps complete. Crusher absolutely pulling in all the stops. His lap times have absolutely not wavered here. 9 seconds still remain. Oh, a bit of a cock up there at the hairpin. Laps before we decide today's race. And we're just gonna take a look here. Sakura will remain in the Zarko. Damashnev is looking to be the other driver who will be throwing himself into the CEO Cup as a result of recent performances. He was 18th and is now in 10th place. All those who were at the top in the CEO spot, so Yuki Aratoka will look to be the first driver out as a result of her retirement. Apart from that, there's not really a lot of changes as who is in the CEO and who's in the Zarko. And Crusher has already cleared Rudy, and Crusher has absolutely pulled up one of the most dominant performances in ARO history. Rarely have we seen a driver lap the entire field. You heard me right. Lap the entire field. Rustin Carrascio will finish this race at 66 laps, with 2nd place finishing at 65. If that isn't indicative of how very much dominant he has been so far this season, then I don't know what's going to convince you. That is, if Kuroshio can just hang on until the checkered flag. The checkered flag isn't even that far away. This will go down as one of the most impressive races in ARO history. Call it boring, call it a snooze fest. But we did see some great racing up at the front, and it could have been Misaki Sakura in the race lead. It could have been Sakura and Kuroshio on the lead lap, a cut above the rest. But today's not the day for that. Instead, it's Rustin Kuroshio's day. As we've mentioned beforehand, in one of the most dominant races, period, in ARO history, we are seeing history unfold itself in real time. Kuroshio only has a few laps to deal with. 60 laps complete. He's now at 6 laps to go. 6 laps until he gets to create history as the driver with the biggest gap, as a race-winning driver with the biggest gap to second place. Over 1 minute and 30 seconds. Over 1 lap over Rustin Kuroshio. And he's ready to pounce on more drivers. Again, he really needs to be more careful. He really needs to be careful with this one. He really should not be bottling this chance whatsoever. Nakamura is hoping that Kuroshio does not bottle this chance, because her hopes of Suzuki Cup qualification is now hinging on Rustin Kuroshio winning this race. Lap 62, still in the lead is Rustin Kuroshio, but will he try to think of a move down the inside? Well, I really cannot answer that. That Patterson tries, he might try to force his way into the CEO Cup, but 6th place is not going to do, but he is going to try to go at it again. He is getting close there to Seo Byung-eun in 5th place. As a token of appreciation of sorts, if you will. He may not be able to make the CEO, but he will at the very least come out fighting. This will only be good enough for him to take 13th place as it stands. Kuroshio has already cleared Akpo Azuri. He's just so quick that literally no one has been able to stop him. Final stages of this race. We're now on lap 64, 3 laps to go. Aquazuri will be able to defend her top spot in Split B. Russia will bring home one of the most dominant wins in ARO history. Russia with a very solid performance for him, if I do say so myself. Jay Goodwin in 6. Hanami Kiriko will also make the CEO Cup, and she will be joined by her fellow mate and compatriot Irene Nakamura. So Byung-eun actually overtaking Rudy there on a late race pass. This will change of sorts of the point situation, so it's now Rustin Carrascio ahead of Rudy as it stands. So it looks to me that Rio is going to it's now a swing here. Carrascio will now move up into 3rd place in the Split B standings as we're going to close down the situation here. So it's now Rio, Carrascio, and Rudy. With Rudy now moved down into this one. It was supposed to be him in 3rd. But that hasn't really happened. Final lap of the race has already started here in Autopolis. In the Autopolis Grand Prix Split B race. Again, it's a very, very dominant win for Carrascio if he can hang on. He still has one more car to pass. Let's just hope he's able to pass that car with flying colors. Of sorts. See what I did there? Could we see one late race drama? Nope. Carrascio is going to take it easy. No issues against Hofumi, or which he might also bring him to 3 laps down. 3 laps down. Again, I just want to remind you, Carrascio is by far not the most dominant car. It was Misaki Sakura. These two happen to cut above the rest. These two will be the ones that will be 1 lap ahead of the rest. But Misaki Sakura faltered when it mattered most. But Rustin Carrascio is going to hang on. He will book a ticket into the CEO Cup. Rustin Carrascio, with the most dominant win in ARO history up to this point, is going to lap the entire field and bring home Laplace Darkness' most impressive one yet. Rustin Carrascio wins the Split B Autopolis Grand Prix race. Take a bow to Rustin Carrascio. Hoshino Rio crosses the line to be the first driver a lap down to confirm this result. Carrascio, Rio 1 lap down. Then it's Rudy, Demashnev, Sobyung-eun, Patterson, Azuri, Joey, Fumi, Sakura, Sakureza, Goyena, Nakamura, Kinsai, and Reba among your point scorers. And now you got your non-point scorers in Kaczynski, Toka, Kiriko, Seirin, and Goodwin. Rustin Carrascio. Not exactly the most impressive driver out there. well, we got Hofumi just sitting there. I believe he has avoided I think he has avoided being the first driver to go 3 laps down in this race. Let's focus on cross show soon after this, as we are going to confirm to you the standings for today's race. Alright, so let's talk about Russian Crossio. Absolutely dominant. 1 lap ahead over the rest of the field. I don't think anyone can compete with that. He wins the race in one of the most dominating fashions in aero competitions. Ahead of Hoshizano Rio, 1 lap down onto Crossio in 2nd place. Rudy's the best of the device class cars who rounds out the podium. Demosthenes' 4th place finish brings him from 18th to, actually, I just want to double check, 10th in the CO in the race for CO Cup qualification, bumping down Yukihara Toka in the process. So Byung-eun's consistency pays off. He will finish 5th and will also book a ticket to CO Cup. Dak Patterson, so close, but no cigar for him, as he will continue the Formula Hololive campaign in the Zako Cup. First 2 races obviously not helping him whatsoever. Akozuri will confirm her spot as the driver who topped Split B, following a 7th place finish, but then again gotta thank her 1st place and 2nd place in her previous 2 rounds. And then it's a Vietnamese 8th, 9th, and 10th. Joey, Hofumi, and Misaki Sakura in that order. Hofumi, with his results forthcoming in the first 2 races, will be the only one out of the 3 to make the CEO Cup. Joey and Sakura will have to make do with only the Zako Cup. Sakireza, Goyena, Nakamura. Sakireza and then Goyena did not make the CEO Cup. Went out on pretty much on a whimper here. Nakamura, meanwhile, has done enough to qualify for the CEO Cup. Thanks to Karashios' win, which did not allow Joey to accrue enough points to overtake Nakamura in the standings. And then Kinsai 14th also did not make the CEO Cup as well as Kaminai Reba, who finally gets to score a bit more gets to score a point, but with retirements like this, it really doesn't help. Kazutsky, Toka, Kiriko, Seiri, and Jay Goodwin make up the remaining DNFers. And so that's that. So, before we get into the championship standings, I just wanted to highlight on one thing before we get into this one. All right. So, as we're going to conclude the championship standings here, let's take a look into the top 10 standings after Autopolis here. Akozuri, of course, with 447 points, will be the one who takes the who takes the first spot into the CEO Cup. She's already guaranteed it after Yeongdam anyways. But this result also means that she now is the driver who tops Split B. Hoshizano Rio, Rustin Karashio, Rudy, Hofumi, Sobyung, and Jake Goodwin, Hanami Kiriko have also made their way into the CEO Cup after prior results. Ari Nakamura just about survives it with Karashio's win. If Rustin Karashio also had a flip, that would have allowed Demosthenes and Joy to accrue more points than her. Then this will put her down into the Zako Cup positions. Plus, Demosthenes' 4th place run is enough for him to bring him into the CEO Cup. Congratulations to the evergreen Aki Rosenthal driver who gets the work done here in Autopolis. Massive congratulations to the drivers who makes the CEO. So let's take a look into also the drivers, the championship standings here. For the drivers who have not made the CEO Cup, Yukihara Toka is the first driver out. Obviously, her retirement in today's race has absolutely done her no good. Joey, as much as he has tried to put himself into the top 10, has not done enough to qualify in the CEO Cup as a result. And then we also got Jace Kinsine, Dak Patterson, who needed a podium finish, also have not done enough to put himself into the CEO Cup. And then we also have the likes of Chucky Reza, Goyena, Seirin, Saki Sakura, who was leading this race for much of it before she retired with a rollover, which cost her a spot in the CEO. Also got Kamine Reba at 24 points, and Raja Kaczynski, who have failed to score in all three qualifiers races. He will start the Zaku as the lowest seeded driver, if that makes any sense. So with that out of the way, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to today's race. That will be all for us for the next 2 weeks. We will be back in Le Mans at the end of this month. Hopefully everyone will be able to tune in to that race as well. And we hope we'll see you in the next Proto World Series race. As we're again going to mention that we are going to make our way into Le Mans. Hopefully we'll all going to be seeing you on the racetrack as well. With that being said, thank you all for tuning in for this weekend's streams. My name is Mama Shazar in the commentary book. We'll see you in the end of May for the Le Mans races on May 30th and 31st. This is when we will be doing our Le Mans race. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you. When we see you, maybe we'll see you in the next 2 weeks for the Le Mans race coming up. Stay tuned for next weekend's race, and we'll see you in Le Mans.
す。